Welcome to the studio here in Paris. We're talking about energy cooperatives. Welcome, Roland.
Thank you.
How are energy cooperatives disrupting the traditional models of the energy landscape in Europe?
Well, the cooperatives is not about the what we are doing. Cooperatives are having very diverse business models and they cover the whole value chain of the energy sector. It's about the how we are doing things. And all cooperatives are citizen-led. There are very much initiatives coming from the civil society, should it be at the very grassroots level or more established companies. We are having, for example, some retailers in the energy market that are already having something like 50, 60,000 consumers, so quite established initiatives. Still, these companies are using the cooperative principles, which means that the members that are part of it are part of the General Assembly, they are part of the governance structure of these companies, and they have a right to vote, a right to say in the decision making of these companies. So basically, the technicalities. There are a series of principles of the cooperative models. There are 7 of them. I won't go through it, but basically, we are applying the democracy principle to the economic sector with companies, activities, can be association, whatever. We're not looking at the administrative legal status, but rather the 7 principles. And these principles make these companies a vehicle for the participation of their members as citizens to achieve what they want. In our cases, in the energy sector, the main motto is the energy transition. So very much we're talking about initiatives of green energy production, green energy retail, energy efficiency, mobility, e-mobility, so electric vehicle sharing, because it's good to have an electric car, it's even better if you share it. And okay, all these kind of things, various business models, as I said, but citizen at the core, making a choice in favor of the energy transition and wanting to put this into practice. That's the cooperative approach.
So what kind of regulatory support are you getting for these initiatives?
When we look at the regulation, there has been recently the Clean Energy Package that has been issued the past year. And it's very interesting because there's a series of new rules and regulatory innovation. One key aspect is the introduction of energy communities. So you have the Renewable Energy Directive that is looking at renewable energy communities, and the which one is it? The Electricity Directive that is looking at citizen energy communities. Both are tools that enable the participation of civil society representative in energy initiative. So it overlaps pretty much with what we're doing. There are 4 main criteria for being part of these energy communities. It needs to be open and voluntary, which is the first of the cooperative principle as well. It needs to be led by citizens, but also local governments, including municipalities, and SMEs. So we're talking about civil society representative, again, pretty much what we're doing, and an added opportunity to cooperate with municipalities. And we're talking about initiatives that are mostly not profit-driven, but value-driven, value for the community, value for the environment, and economic value at the local level. One of the cooperative principles is to be community-driven and rather non-profit. So, as I said, it overlaps pretty much with what we're doing. This is a brand new concept, an innovation in the regulatory sector that's pretty much maybe the first time we're talking not about energy consumers in European law, but about citizens, energy citizens. So for us, it's great news, and we're really looking forward to its implementation, to the accompanying rules and measures to support these initiatives. Regulators will have the opportunity to do cost-benefit analysis related to the implementation of these communities. There are big questions at stake regarding the panel of activities they can do. They are usually seen as a privileged vehicle for collective energy sharing, for example. But there's the whole world basically to explore, and this will be very interesting time for looking at the implementation of these rules at national level.
How do you foresee cooperatives changing the landscape in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, as I said, we'll be implementing these rules at national level, which opens new doors, because there are several business activities that can be realized by energy communities. As I said, one of them is collective energy sharing. There are a lot of questions about how this should take place. Should this be identified according, for example, to the distribution grid? So basically identifying a subsection of the distribution grid, the local consumers that are being fed with this grid, and trying to set up cooperatives or communities that can self-consume on this grid and manage best as possible consumption and generation on this piece. But that's a very specific business model for these communities. As I mentioned, for cooperatives, our business models are not closed. There are a variety of things that are being performed by our members. Very innovative things, both on the technical aspects, but this will be facilitated by the technology, which maybe not the core focus of our members. We just use the technology the best they can to achieve their main goal. It will be basically the technology supporting imagination, and we can see already that the added value of our members is more towards the social added value, making people understand what are the stakes with the energy transition, providing them the tools to achieve what they want to do. So if they want to consume green electricity, they can do it through a cooperative. But social goals are also very important. There's a very good example that I like pretty much. In the UK, for example, Brixton Energy is a cooperative that works with social housing. They work with social housing, and tenants of this social housing are becoming members of the cooperative. The cooperative provides them with the opportunity to set up solar panels on the roof of the building, and they do it for the community, by the community. And it becomes an opportunity for professional training. So people who are in a difficult social and professional situation are provided with the opportunity to train new skill, install solar panels, and get this as a new
skill.
Professional skill, exactly. So we're looking about enabling the energy transition. That's the main goal of our members, but doing it in an inclusive manner. And that's maybe something that needs to be clarified throughout the regulatory process I've just mentioned. There is CBAs that will be the opportunity for regulators, for national authorities to understand what are the citizen initiatives on their territory, what they're doing, what is their added value, and how they can help achieve not only the energy transition, but broader social goals.
Thank you so much for your insights. Be sure to subscribe to our channels for more digitally related content.